What's going on, everyone? As always, he's Dave.
He's Dave.
This is the Sports Rant. So we got a lot to talk about this week.
We got a lot to talk about.
We're going to kick this off with Monday Night Football.
Best fucking game I've ever seen in professional football.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
You're talking about 14 total touchdowns.
Right, it was
14.
Insane. They were balling out there yesterday. It was you had to watch it. It was must-see TV to the last second of the game. Pat Mahomes, he turned the ball over 5 times, but he still balled out. What did he have? Like 6 touchdowns?
He had 6 touchdowns and 3 picks. But he had two forced fumbles. Yes.
Yeah. But you're dealing with Aaron Donald, the best defensive player in football.
Yeah.
You know, aside from what Skip Bayless hating ass says, he's the best defensive player in football.
He is.
And he got paid like it.
Deservedly so. He proved his worth, even though we're looking at an era of football where it's going to be all offense. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of defense. They made the stops that they had to make.
Yeah.
And that's what's important at the end of the day. But come on, 54-51.
Yeah, but you got to be opportunistic in this day and age to play defense. You have to turn the ball over. That's the main thing. You got to strip sack people like Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, Von Miller. He got a nice interception the other day.
I tell you, there's no game plan you could set up. I don't care if your name is Wade Phillips or Bill Belichick, that could match up with these types of high-powered offenses like KC, LA, and New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah. That's going to be crazy.
It is.
When New Orleans plays one
playoff time is going to be nuts. Barring that there's no injuries.
Right.
You know, but we'll see what happens. But that was a hell of a game. Mahomes almost had 500 yards in a losing effort. That's just to show you where this kid is at mindset-wise in a rookie season. And this is what makes Andy Reid, as long as he's been in the league, so important to young quarterbacks. You saw he's done it with practically everyone he's ever had under center.
Right.
You know,
even Donovan McFlab.
There you go. McNabb, he didn't work in any of the system, but he works in Reid's. You know.
Yeah, because Reid's a genius.
Exactly. Alex Smith works in his system.
Right.
Even to an extent until he was figured out, Matt Castle worked in his system. You just got to admit that at the end of the day, when KC traded up to get Mahomes, they saw something, and Reid saw that there was something he could work with.
Right.
And this kid just blossomed.
Mm-hmm. And he had Alex Smith, the Mr. Leg Breaker, and not taking chance guy. You know, getting right into that.
Oh God!
Now it's disgusting.
It is.
It's disgusting. I feel for you, my man.
Turn away if you don't like seeing this, because I'm gonna put up real now, and this ironically is 33 years to the day that Joe Theismann, same exact injury when LT put the hit on him, and you can see comparison right now. It's practically the same injury, and just. You got to think that Alex Smith's career is probably done.
Probably. I mean, well, they said it's a clear break. He's only going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
How is his body going to recover? He's 34. He's 34.
Yeah, but he is not. Joe Theismann was like 50 when he broke his damn leg. But this is a blessing in disguise. You know, hopefully we make the playoffs. If we don't, you know, it's a blessing because they'll get to fire Jay Gruden. He's a horrible head coach. Only worse head coach was Jason Garrett and what's his guy from Cleveland who they fired recently.
Jackson.
Yeah, Hugh Jackson. Jay Gruden's horrible, and hopefully if we don't make the playoffs and we lose out, and Dan Snyder can see that and see how horrible he is as a head coach.
Well, Snyder's not too much for evaluating talent himself.
This is true.
Now you got Colt McCoy starting under center,
right?
In a huge game in Dallas,
right?
Now, he knows the system. Mm-hmm. Do you see him having success on Thursday?
I do. I see him being better than Alex Smith. Alex Smith refused to throw the fucking ball. Colt McCoy will throw the ball at least. He may throw it up to Dallas. All right, fine. I hate watching guys being wide open and you can't get them the ball because you're scared. I don't want any scared guys, and Colt McCoy isn't scared. Okay. So I don't anticipate winning. But I anticipate more scoring to go on.
All right, so we're gonna stay in the NFC East. My Giants got their third victory of the season.
Good W, awesome touchdown catch by Odell.
Odell, Barkley, they all balled out. Barkley had almost 150 yards on the ground.
Barkley's not human.
No. Like I said before, he was drafted, and I think this guy has the potential to be beast mode part 2.
I agreed. Yeah, he's crazy.
Now, granted, the last 2 games were against teams that have subpar defenses. But you see what happens when the offensive line blocks for Eli.
Yeah, Eli misses one
pass.
And that's because Barkley ran the wrong route.
Exactly. Which he profusely apologized afterwards because he really felt bad that Eli didn't have a quote unquote perfect game as far as
because he's a professional.
That's just it. Professional.
Man who's a professional.
But at the end of the day, the way they're playing right now, I'm not expecting them to turn a corner and steal the East. But I can see them winning 3 more games and see the way they're playing.
3 more games too. I can see them winning. I can see them going. What are they? 3-7 now.
They're 3-7.
I can see them going 8-8.
Possibly. I'm gonna give them 3 because I definitely don't see them beating teams like Chicago, Philly. They're meeting up this Sunday. Philly's got to prove that they're still in it. If they lose to the Giants this weekend, it's over for Philly.
Well, getting to them. They suck right now. They suck right now. There's infighting.
And this has nothing to do with Wentz because Wentz has a passer completion rating of 70% plus.
Right, but I beg to differ. Carson Wentz has what is this? 15 touchdowns and 13 turnovers. The turnovers kill you.
Yeah,
the turnovers kill you. Now he ain't been the reason why they suck.
Right.
When you get 48 run up on you, that got nothing to do with Wentz. But he's not. Balling by any stretch of the imagination.
And not for nothing, Peterson needs to come up with a different game plan. You lost Jay Ajayi to a bad injury, but the rushing game has just been non-existent since he left.
I think the new guy is better than Jay Ajayi.
Yeah.
Whatever his last name is, I forget what his name is.
For whatever reason, they couldn't run the ball for jack shit this past weekend. Now, the Bears. The Bears, as I said a few weeks back, I still feel they're going to win the North.
Yeah.
Green Bay is lost. They just had that horrible loss to Seattle. The Lions are lost. And even with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota, they just don't seem to have it.
Well, they took them out of it this past
weekend. No, that was a beautiful win for the Bears. But now comes the word that Trubisky is hurt. He's day-to-day with a shoulder injury, his throwing shoulder.
Really?
Okay. And backup is Chase Daniels.
No.
Do you know who that is?
Well, yes, I do know who Chase Daniels is.
Do you know who that is?
Chase Daniels is nice.
Yes.
Chase Daniels is nice.
So,
I'm fine with that.
Here's the thing at the end of the day, though. I don't know how much time he's had with the starting team. It's a short week because, remember, they also play on Thanksgiving against Detroit.
Right.
And they had the late game on Sunday. By the way, NFL, whoever scheduled that, y'all fucked up. Okay? Because how you going to put a team on Sunday Night Football when they got to play on Thursday?
I think they got flexed into that position too.
Flex them out. Yeah. That ain't right. It doesn't matter how short of a distance is to travel. It's still the time that they had to play. It's less time for them to recover. It's a short week as it is.
Don't say you care about their health.
Exactly.
Doing bullshit like that.
But so Bears at Lions. Who you got at that?
Bears and Lions. Bears, obviously. But hold on though. Hold on. I still got to talk about Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, Trubisky.
I was wrong about him. He's turned out to be a pretty good fucking quarterback.
He's good. I put him in that game management type quarterback. He still has those. He still tends to make a lot of mistakes.
He's young.
But this is a defensive-oriented team. Khalil Mack is just, I'm sorry. If you can pick anyone other than Donald to win defensive MVP this year, it's going to be Mack.
Yeah, it'll be Mack.
Okay?
It'll be Mack.
And I think Mack makes more of an impression in Chicago simply because they have to be a defensive-oriented team. Until Trubisky matures a little bit more, it has to rely solely on defense. And as we've seen in the past, teams like Seattle, teams like Denver, they won their Super Bowls based on defense.
Yeah, you have to have a good defense to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, be very interesting. So, you got Bears over the Lions.
Bears over the Lions.
Skins and boys.
I got my boys pulling it out. My boy Colt McCoy coming through and winning in Dallas.
Okay.
Not really.
And then
you're going to get monkey stars. That's all.
I like the way you just switched there.
Yeah,
and then, of course, the late game, which is also going to be a good game because there's implications here for Atlanta to try to get back in this. I don't see it happening. Atlanta at New Orleans. I think New Orleans is going to put a stomping on Atlanta.
Stomping. Monkeys. I don't know why they even put. You know what? They had to because they didn't know this was going to happen.
No, they didn't know, but it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Ass kicking.
It's probably a best that's a late game. So anyone that does celebrate Thanksgiving this weekend, that turkey sets in. You already get sleepy. It won't matter that you fell asleep because it's going to be a one-sided game probably.
Let the Saints and the Atlanta Falcons watch you.
Yeah. Now, as we said in last week's episode, college football this weekend, the top teams really didn't have any opponents except the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah.
Number 3 versus number 12, Syracuse.
Right.
The Orangemen. And this was supposed to be the team that tested them.
Yeah.
Our defense just stepped up big.
Just destroyed them.
Knocked out their starting QB.
And that was it. All she wrote.
And not for nothing, their backup, what's his name? DeVito is supposed to be a decent QB, but we just had them flustered all game.
Obviously not.
And I just got to say, as I said last week, in Brian Kelly, I trust. I'm. You know what? It doesn't matter what happens. College football playoffs, as long as they win this weekend against USC. Ian Book, Brandon Wimbush, I'm comfortable either way. Mm-hmm. I trust in Brian Kelly.
Ian Book is a junior, right? So he's going to stay for his senior season?
He's probably going to stay for a senior.
Okay.
So if everything would start right now, it stays the same. You're talking probably Michigan at Alabama,
right?
And the Notre Dame at Clemson,
right?
Whichever order it is, whoever gets the Orange Bowl, whoever gets the Cotton Bowl, and that of course will be on December 29th. The only way I see this getting upset is if, like I suggested, the slim chance Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC title game, mm-hmm. and let's say Ohio, although very unlikely, upsets Michigan.
Right.
In this final game, and then it's Ohio and I believe Northwestern for the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. Now you got a huge wrench thrown in that machine, and okay, who gets seated where? So a lot still needs to play out.
You would have Georgia taking Michigan's spot.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, I can see that happening. I can see that happening if Ohio State beats them, but mm-hmm. I don't see Ohio State beating them.
And then, of course,
to Maryland.
But then here's the other thing: if Georgia does not pull the upset, but Ohio State beats Michigan, and then Ohio State wins the Big Ten championship game, does Ohio State slip into that 4th spot?
No, because they lost to Michigan. You said
no.
Ohio
if they beat Michigan this weekend, and they win the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I mean, we got to wait and see what the college football player come in.
Yeah, that's sort of.
This is where it kind of is a little unfair advantage to Notre Dame. They don't have a conference game. I can see why some people be up in arms about that.
Doesn't matter, they're undefeated.
It doesn't matter. But again, at the end of the day, more reason why now you have to focus on possibly expanding this to an 18 playoff format.
That would be crazy.
That would be. And then it'd be a little fairer, especially to those other teams that go undefeated, whether they're at the level of Alabama, Clemson, or any of these other teams in the top 4, top 5 right now.
Beating the University of Central Florida.
There you go. Whether it's UCF, whether it's Ohio State with one loss, everybody should have a fair shot if they have a good season.
Okay.
So now we're going to switch over to the NBA.
Right.
Where you want to start?
We can start. Let's start with the 76ers because I think the Golden State Warriors and the Washington Wizards, that's going to meld into one.
Oh, God.
I have something to say about both of them, and it kind of goes hand in hand.
Gotcha.
Shout out to you, Doc. We're gonna hear this. Go ahead.
All right. So the Sixers. Even with the trade of Butler to Philly, it seems like they got some defensive problems right now. Mm-hmm. You got Kemba, and for all of you who don't know, that's Kemba Walker. Dropped 60. Right?
Yeah.
60. Now, granted, Philly still won, but you allowed Kemba Walker to score 60 by himself.
He's what, like 5'9"?
Exactly. So, again, where's the D? You also got this situation now where Markelle Fultz,
he's done.
They're talking about putting him in the G League.
Yeah.
You traded up to get the number 1 overall pick. And when you look at the guys that they passed on who are excelling in this league, and now your number 1 pick is going to the G League?
It comes out today that he's going to see a soldier specialist. No, it's go see a game specialist. You suck.
Go see a psychologist. Because I just don't understand.
Weak-minded millennial.
There you go. Do we need to put that word up again?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't get it the first time.
I'll put it up again.
Go ahead.
Millennial.
All right.
So, staying on with Kemba.
Okay.
Charlotte Hornets.
Right.
And this is going to lead into, again, what we're talking about, Washington Wizards and Golden State in a minute. Charlotte Hornets, you got to get Kemba Walker some help. Because that 60 he threw up against Philly, and then just last night he threw up another 43 against Boston. Beating Boston, mind you. Boston just seems to be lost right now. I'm not sure exactly what's going on in Boston. I'm not sure if Brad Stevens even knows. Maybe it's a case of too much talent, not enough team. It's still early, but you got to get Kemba some help. I think with everything that's going on in Washington right now, you got to make a move and try to get Bradley Beal over there because Malik Monk is another one that's looking like he's a straight up bust. The kid has no game on this level. And whether you agree with it or not, the one and dones, the chance to go straight into the G League and refine your game, you should not be coming into the NBA. Not everybody can come into the NBA at 19 and succeed.
Well, they think they can. They've been told all their life.
They can be told all their life, but clearly certain individuals' results are not in favor of a lot of these kids.
And I thought Monk was nasty in college.
He was, but sometimes you mentally just can't make that jump from amateur to pro.
Yeah. It's called hoe-ass-itis.
Whatever you want to call it. I mean, let's just look at it. You know, college is a 33-game schedule. Pros is 82.
Yeah.
You know, it's a 40-minute game compared to 48 minutes in the pros. And then if you hit the playoffs, that's even more. So, and there's a bigger spotlight on you. When you're in college, okay, if you're in a big university, all right, the spotlight may be more on you. Let's say you're in Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, places like that. But you got hundreds of colleges. It's easy to just stay in the background, do your thing, and just say... Stay in the background. Stay in the background.
Not these guys, Dave.
No.
And I never understood the whole 2 halves in college. That's the stupidest thing in the world to me. Why wouldn't you have 4... Every other area of basketball has 4 quarters. Why would you not have 4 quarters? We trying to be different? What the hell is the point in that?
Well, you know, NCAA is ass backwards.
Yeah, that shit is stupid, man. I never understood that. That was so dumb. Another reason why I hate college basketball. But you want them to get Bradley Beal.
I want them to get Bradley Beal.
Let me tell you the problem with Bradley Beal.
All right,
Bradley Beal thinks that he's the best player in the league. He thinks he's better than John Wall. Let me tell you something, Bradley Beal, you're not. And when you go to Charlotte, you're not better than Kemba Walker. You are Robin. These people have a problem with being Robin. There's nothing wrong with being Robin. Not everybody can be Batman.
I hear you on that one. The problem in Washington right now, even if I will agree with you somewhat, Beal thinks he is better than Wall. Here's the reason why, though. Last year when Wall was out,
they won.
They won with Beal.
Agreed.
Okay, so it's not too dissimilar from... And I'm not putting him on the same level, but it's not too dissimilar from a few years back when KD was still in OKC. He got hurt for the year, and Russell took over. And you know what happened after that. If Russell felt it was his team.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
Yes, he's delusional, just like Bradley Beal.
Okay. But Beal does average 21 a game. He does average 3 assists a game and 4 boards a game.
Do you think he's better than John Wall?
I don't think he's better than John Wall. I do think he's better than Malik Monk.
Oh, I mean,
I think if he goes to Charlotte, he's got to know that that's Kemba's team.
Why? Why does he have to know that?
Because Kemba just threw up 130 points in 2 days.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, son. These dudes don't give a fuck. They don't care. I could throw up 130.
Well,
It's the mentality, son. They got the mellow mentality. I'm the best person to ever do it. Fuck everybody else.
Okay.
Yield to me. No.
Well,
no.
I still think they need to do something. They need to get Kemba some help. They need to get Kemba some help.
They got to get us some help.
Okay, because this is the last year of his contract. You want to at least give him some incentive to stay. Otherwise, he's walking. And he's probably walking to either L.A. He's probably walking to L.A.
I hope he comes to New York, personally. We don't have no point guard.
You don't have no point guard, and it really depends on what you want to do with that wallet of yours next year. You know, because Porzingis is going to be up for a contract.
Right.
You're going to open up the contract.
Rocking a hard place.
No, but at the end of the day, depending on where you finish, depending on what kind of pick you get in this year's draft, you're going to have to come out the nose for Kemba.
We'll talk about that some other time. We'll talk about that next week, because that's going to be a long discussion.
That'll be a discussion. All right.
Now, so you think that's the problem? What do you think the problem is in DC then?
The DC is a combination of Wall's prima donna ass,
right?
Which, mind you, he done lost his fucking mind by cursing out the coach the other day. But at the same time, Scotty Brooks, you a straight up bitch. You just shown why OKC gave up on you, why you lost the faith of your players in OKC. Let's not even get on the fact that ownership traded away certain key pieces and whatever. It's your job to make sure that that team is functioning. And when you saw dysfunction between Westbrook and Durant, you didn't solve it. What happened? Early exit in the playoffs, and your ass got fired. Now here you are. This is what, year 3 in Washington? And you done lost the entire locker room. There's absolutely no one playing with any heart whatsoever. They need to get him out. He's gone.
Okay. So you think after that happens, then
no, you still gotta break that up.
Okay.
Wall is untradeable right now. No. Mostly due to his antics.
$40 million next year.
You're getting $40 million. He's getting $170 over 4 years for his extension, which starts next season. No one's picking that up with Wall's prima donna ass right now.
You in the club.
Okay? You better off trading guys like Otto Porter Jr. You better off trading Beal. Regardless of where they actually go, get some value for these. Get some picks for these guys. Get some role players for these guys. But you also got to get rid of Scotty Brooks. He's garbage.
Jr., what a disappointment. But I agree with you about Scotty Brooks losing the team. Also want to take it somewhere further. You may not agree with me here. Most people don't.
Hit me,
Doc. But you had problems before you invited a loser into your locker room. Mr. Chocolate Shoulders himself, Dwight Howard. All right? He's a loser. And he's always going to be a loser. Loser-dumb follows him.
Yep.
Same thing in Golden State with my man Boogie. They're losers. And it follows and infects the locker room. Winning is infectious. Losing is infectious.
And I'll tell you something else that's going to happen in Golden State. They're going to have to make a decision maybe sooner rather than later regarding Draymond. We're going to take it back to what happened last week, the whole argument, and this is what led up to the argument, okay? Now, here's the thing at the end of the day. It's clear you're in the last seconds of the game. It's a tie game, all right? Clippers just missed a shot. Both KD and Draymond are looking at the ball. So I give them credit. They're not just standing around like, say, the Knicks or the Bulls were and thinking that ball's going to bounce to them. Here's the problem, though. Draymond also needs to recognize who else is on the floor. And not only when he goes for the ball does he completely ignore the fact that KD is going for the ball.
Calling for it.
He turns around, he doesn't even acknowledge he's calling for the damn ball. And what happens? You drive the lane and you fall. You fall. Time expired, you go to OT and you lose the damn game.
Exactly. You're getting mad at him. Once again, people have problems being Robin.
And you know what?
You're fucking Robin, Draymond.
And just to show you that this is not basketball associated, this happens in every sport. We're going to take you back several years ago. Yankees. Here's a play right here. And everybody who watches sports, anybody who watches the Yankees, saw this live. Here it is, a pop fly, infield pop.
It's my boy, too.
Jeter's making a play on the ball. A-Rod just standing there, and what happens? Drop the damn ball.
Yeah.
And Jeter
shortstop gets the call, buddy.
Jeter looking at him like, what the hell you doing?
Exactly.
The same look KD had on his face. What the hell you doing?
You're robbing. Stay in your place. A-Rod, that's my boy too. I
know,
A-Rod.
but yeah, I couldn't stay in it, man.
I know most people can't fuck with A-Rod heavy. Now he's banging Jennifer Lopez. Go ahead, A-Rod.
Yeah, I'll give you that much.
Do your thing, baby.
You got Jenny on the block.
Yes, he does.
Well, it's another word, but you know. Keep PG-13 in this case.
All
right. Well, that's it for this week. We appreciate your time as usual. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. And you know what? Hit us back. Let us know what you think. We want your opinions. In the meantime, anyone who's celebrating, enjoy your holiday. Eat some of that turkey. Eat some of that paneer. Eat some of that ham. Whatever you got at that dinner table.
Right.
And thank everyone at your table for being your life. Love your family. Love your friends. Peace.
Peace.